And fantastic. So we are officially recording our session, and I wanted to welcome you all to the Glunz Tasting Hall. Here today, we left the U.S. and heading to Italy, and we are very excited to welcome some of our partners, our newest partners actually in distribution. We have a great pair, a duo, Enrico and Luca, who are a marketing company here actually in Chicago, and they connected with our on-premise specialist Glunz, and the two of them connected with our team, and we have now got a couple outstanding wineries that we're excited to have you taste and hear from. So without any further ado, I am going to welcome and introduce Enrico. Thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having us today. So, I said, I'm Enrico. I was born in the wine business. My family is a winery for about 4 generations, and with Luca, my partner, is the wine market. With just 3 years ago, we opened this marketing company to introduce some wineries from Italy in the US market. I live in Chicago, and Luca normally lives in Boston. This is a big department for the COVID. But today, yes, we're gonna have the Principiano from Langhe, from Barolo, and the Pecci from the Brunello, from the Montalcino region. I pass the word to Luca.
Hi everyone. Yes, my name is Luca. I'm working with Enrico, and I'm glad today to introduce you to these 2 wineries that we are representing in the US market. The first one that we're gonna see is Principiano. Principiano, we have been working with Principiano for 2 years. I met Francesco 3 years ago. Francesco is the 4th generation running this family business. It's a small winery, but very high quality. And I think that Principiano wines really can represent the terroir where they are located. They are based in Monforte d'Alba. Monforte is one of the most important villages about Barolo, and this area is famous for the elegance and the complexity of their wine. So now Francesco can take over and introduce deeply and better his business and his winery. So Francesco, are you ready?
Okay. Hi everybody, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Francesco Principiano of Principiano Giuseppe winery. We run for the 4th generation, and we have a small production. We have 10 hectares between Monforte and Serralunga d'Alba. Serralunga, where we are here, in the Boscareto area, were born the Barolo Boscareto. We have 2 hectares here, and we use the older vine, about 40 years old, like this, to do the single vineyard Barolo Boscareto. Older vine, about 40 years old. Less quantity and maceration longer than the Barolo Classic. Because for the Barolo Classic, we use the younger vine of Boscareto, like this, about 20 years old vines, and the Ravera di Monforte, to do a blend of more vineyard. Here in Boscareto, we are in one of the best zones of Barolo production, because we are in front of Ginestra di Monforte, and we have Cascina Francia on the left. We are in one of the best zones for the best Barolo aging.
And Francesco, what's the facing of the vineyards and the altitude?
Here we are in 300 meters over the sea level.
Okay.
And chiedi.
Where is it facing? Is it facing south? Where is it facing?
Here we are in southwest. The sun takes place at 10 o'clock, and then in the end of the day ends a great exposition, the best southwest exposition, because the other vineyard that we have are south or southeast. Here southwest is the best for the major exposition.
And what, Francesco, the characteristic of this soil, or the particular characteristic of this vineyard, this cru?
Okay, you can see the white soil, clavy calcareous, and here in Serralunga we can do a great wine with a great powerful, but also a great elegance. It's typical from Barolo, from Serralunga d'Alba, powerful and elegance. It's perfect for this characteristic. In Monforte we have more finesse and complexity. And it's very good, the blend also, to do the Barolo Classic, where we can use the younger vine of the Barolo Boscareto with the Barolo Classic to have a great blend for this characteristic.
And Francesco, who's the other greatest producer in Boscareto, or some of the good neighbors that you have that maybe here in US people knows very well? Can you mention some of them?
Puoi ripetere che non ho capito?
Chi sono dei vicini o qualcuno che è molto conosciuto di produttori vicino a te?
Allora, we have here to do the Barolo Boscareto. We are in 3 producers. Batasiolo, but it's big producer like quantity, and the other Principiano, because we are the 4th generation. The first generation, they're born also the other producer with the surname Principiano. And we are in 3 to do the Barolo Boscareto, but I think the best exposition, the best soil is for us and for Ferdinando Principiano, because for Batasiolo it's on the top of the hill, but the exposition is more west, so south and west. Here is the best, and you can see also it's very, very steep, about 30%, and it's very good for the exposition for the vines.
Okay. So
and what usually is the production for the Boscareto? How many bottles usually?
Yes, we can do 10,000 bottles, but for the Barolo Boscareto, I use the older vine that we see before, and here we can do 30,000 and half for this, for the Barolo Boscareto with older vine. But in the total, I can do 10,000 of bottle of Barolo Boscareto. But now I use only the older vine to have the best quality.
And what about the production, the quality for this year? Is it a good year, a good vintage?
I think it's a very, very good year. A lot of rain in June, but a great Juliet, August, and also now a great September. It's perfect for the Nebbiolo, because now it's very cold in the morning and very, very hot in the afternoon. It's perfect to do a great Barolo, a great Nebbiolo, a great Nebbiolo da Barolo. The cold in the morning and hot in the afternoon. It's perfect to have a great Langhe Nebbiolo. Also very good for Barbera, and Dolcetto in the medium, like quality.
Okay, Francesco, now we will pass the speech to Pecci in Montalcino. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you in the vineyard. in the winery,
Thank
actually.
you very much.
Thank you.
We see,
Thank you. Bye.
we see after. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. So this is, yeah.
My English, no.
I'm here to support Tiziana for the English.
Okay.
So I just would like to introduce the winery, just a couple of words, because very shortly. I just want to say that the first time I went to Montalcino to meet Tiziana was 2 years ago, and the wines are great, but what that really I noticed was the passion that Tiziana has in what she does. I mean, the great passion, and I think that this is the secret really to produce their wines that are for me unique, because starting from the Rosso di Montalcino, going up, the quality is really outstanding. It definitely can represent this area of Montalcino, which is one of the best area in Montalcino. So now you can show and introduce the winery, Francesco. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luca.
Thank you for the great introduction. So we are done. We don't have to say anymore.
Oh, it's just
So thank you for the opportunity today. I'm Francesco. I'm Tiziana's assistant here, and as you said, she runs the whole winery with her father, Celestino, from which the winery gets the name. We are in a fantastic vineyard that is the Poggio al Carro vineyard in the northern east part of Montalcino. Is almost 2 hectares from where the selection come from. What I can say, Celestino Pecci's winery is 12 hectares. Okay, but right now we can talk about only 10 because 2 are just taken off to make a new vineyard because it was very old, so it wasn't the best. But here in the Poggio al Carro we have 12 years vines right now, and the exposition and the soil are perfect. Of course, we always say it's perfect, but I mean, the year was super warm, but right now, actually, the temperature are going down. So as you can see, the maturation, the ripeness of the vineyard is almost ready. So we will harvest in about 10 days. So in the vineyard, instead, there is a Celestino that runs everything plus 2 workers. Actually, as you were saying, the passion of Tiziana is, I'm here since a month, and I see her everywhere, not because she's always around, but because she puts herself in what she does. Because Celestino was the sixth child of a family who was leaving the country to go to the city. He is 79 years old. So at that time, Montalcino wasn't so blessed. Or actually, they didn't know. They didn't know what they have under their feet. He decided to grow grapes like his heritage, because his Celestino's Pecci's family is growing grapes since a lot of generation. But he was selling grapes to the cooperative seller that is like 5 minutes downhill. But then in 2001, Tiziana, that was doing another job, okay, she decided that she wanted to make Pecci's wine. So the 2001 was the first year that Tiziana decided to put the grapes in the bottle instead to sell them. And actually being also the only child and being a girl, she had to fight a lot with her father to convince him. And actually, we can say now that all the efforts, all the discussions, discussions that can be in a family, okay. She's getting a lot of awards, and beside that, a lot of people are enjoying her wines, and she sells wine pretty much all over Europe, and also with the help of you guys now also in the United States. The 10 hectares are yes.
I have a question for you, Tiziana.
Sure.
What's about the name Poggio al Carro? Why the name? What it makes so special? Like the Brunello is already special, but what makes this Brunello?
Sure. So as you can see, this is a 350 meters hill on the sea level. And since when Tiziana was a little girl, she was coming here, and everybody already in her family was calling this Poggio al Carro, because from the top of the hill you can see the Great Bear, that in Italian is il Grande Carro, l'Orsa Maggiore. So yeah, she could see the sky. And actually the really nice thing is that the answer to your question is behind is in the back label of the wine, is explained, because she does storytelling also in her bottle, and we will talk about the bottles afterward. So she was going, when she was little, up the hill to watch the sky that from there seems bigger.
Okay. And how would you describe the difference between the Poggio al Carro vineyards and the Brunello vineyards?
Quindi dice le differenze tra I vigneti.
La differenza è l'esposizione, un po' il terreno e l'esposizione.
So mainly,
anche il clone, però.
Yeah, mainly the exposition that is northeast instead of southeast, and then the clone and the.
Comunque è un mix tra il terreno, il tipo di Sangiovese e l'esposizione al sud.
Yeah, it's a different terroir, so it's different exposition, different clone of Sangiovese Grosso, and different soil. That is a mix, come si dice, is a mixture and clay.
Yeah. Okay.
Allora,
and then in the cellar is vinified all by himself, of course. So.
Of course. Okay. And
but it's mainly vineyard work too.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think we are done, or Francesco, for now. Maybe we go to Joe. We can go to Principiano in the winery, unless somebody has some questions that Tiziana, Francesco surely will answer it to.
Absolutely. So we don't have any questions yet in the chat, but we can, anybody who would be interested in unmuting, you can jump in to ask a quick question or throw it in the chat, either one. I do not have Francesco online yet. He is still waiting for him to join back on.
Well, I'll ask a question if you could, Enrico.
Yeah.
So this is the Poggio al Carro site we're looking at. So just a single vineyard fruit come from this. For the regular Brunello, where did the fruit come for that? Like, what's the exposition? Or how big is the land for that? because I know you make a very small amount per Poggio al Carro, where the regular Brunello you could make a little bit more. So do you harvest from 3 different sites? Do you lease some, or how does that work?
Hai capito, Francesco?
Non ho sentito l'ultima parte.
Lui chiede, so che del Brunello ne fate di più come produzione, diceva, ma i vigneti, le esposizioni di quei vigneti e le differenze di quei vigneti rispetto a Poggio al Carro, non so, l'età, il suolo, l'esposizione, se è un sito
L'età alla
unico.
fine non è nemmeno tanto vecchia.
So this is not the oldest vineyard
Allora,
that she has.
i versanti sono questo, l'altro verso Montalcino. Ogni vigneto è differente. Il versante viene vinificato separatamente.
Però l'altro, il Brunello, è su destra.
Sì, comunque io lo vinifico separatamente le vigne. Questa è stata, diciamo, il risultato era ottimale. Addirittura il vino poi diventa la riserva, lo fa sempre con questa vigna.
Okay.
So the different exposition, as we said before, is northeast instead of south. But then the thing is that he and all the other. So she thinks, and I think the same, that is like you know, in different micro areas there are different micro terroirs. Of course, here we have 50 quintals per hectare, and instead for the Brunello di Montalcino is 70. And then also the aging here stays more than the regular Brunello, and also the maceration is longer. So. And yeah, and this is like a less in this vineyard. Respect the regular Brunello, there is less clay than the regular Brunello.
Yeah. And,
Okay. How big is this Poggio al Carro? How many hectares?
How big is almost 2 hectares? Yes.
2 hectares. Okay.
Very good. So we do have Francesco is back on with us. So I think I will let Francesco and Tiziana head back to the winery, where we'll catch up with you after Francesco. Sì, grazie. And Francesco, welcome back.
Thank you very much. We have a problem with the connection here.
That's all that matters is you're here with us now, sir.
Now it's okay. We are in the testing room, and it's more fresh because it's very, very, very hot today. Okay. Now we can test the wine.
Sì.
It's okay. Se no puoi farlo te.
So just so that we you see what we have going, we have everyone has had the opportunity to have all of the wines were rebottled here. So we took your fabulous wines and rebottled them in small 2-ounce bottles, which we then sent to all of our customers and participants in today's tasting. So we have the opportunity to have everyone taste the wines just as right along with you.
Okay. Here we are with the wine that you have. We have Langhe Nebbiolo 2018, Barolo Classic 2015, and the Barolo Boscareto, the single vineyard. We start with the Langhe Nebbiolo, the 2018. Our Langhe Nebbiolo is due with the younger vine about Barolo vineyard and the little vineyard not in the zone of the Barolo. Younger vine, it's about 10 years old. I don't want to do a little Barolo. I want more freshness. I do only stainless steel barrel for the Langhe Nebbiolo. 10-day maceration on the skin, always stainless steel barrel. After 1 year, always stainless steel barrel. The color is ruby red, typical of the young Nebbiolo. In the bouquet, roses, piccoli frutti, se Enrico puoi aiutarmi a prendere.
Oh yeah, so some small berries, like you know, on the.
Exactly, and it's very fresh and linear, like I want to do our Langhe Nebbiolo, because all the three beans that we have, one dolcetto, one barbera, and one Nebbiolo, we do in a stainless steel barrel to drink in the glass how the bean is without the oak. Then we use oak also for Barbera Boscareto and normally for the Barolo. But in this wine, I want only the freshness, the pleasant, because it's very pleasant and very balanced. Not too complex, but very pleasant also now that it's very young. It's very, very nice, drinkable, very drinkable. A great vintage 2018.
I think the gentlemen that are tasting the 2017 vintage, which you have 2018. How would you describe the difference between 2017 and 18?
2017 more complex, more powerful, because it was a vintage very, very hot, but less bouquet. Here there is more bouquet, more balanced. In 2017 more tennis. Here for me are more balanced, more pleasant, more drinkable. Now that it's young, it's better like drinkable than 2018, but two very different vintage. 2018 it's very similar to the 2019.
And just so you know, we do have the 2007, 18, sorry, that everyone has.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That's my mistake.
Oh,
yes,
Ben, that's all good.
It's right, because I think the first time that you taste the Langhe Nebbiolo was the 2017.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Right. Good. Okay.
Okay. Now we can pass to the Barolo. Our Barolo Classic is a blend of more vineyard. Boscareto Younger Bean, Ravera di Monforte, and Le Coste. Now we can see also a little maps. Here is the map of the crew of Barolo. We are here. We are Boscareto, in front of Ginestra di Monforte and near Cascina Francia. We use here this with the Ravera di Monforte, that it's a very, very steep vineyard, because we walk like one time only by hand, because we can't use the tractor. And we can see this vineyard in the photo when my father was 14 years old. You can see also here that it's very, very steep. And you use this to do the Barolo Classic. The color, it's red garnet, typical for Barolo. Violet roses. it's powerful, but it has a very good roundness also now that it's young. Typical for our Barolo Classic that we do 15 days on the skin in stainless steel barrel. Maceration, always stainless steel barrel, but also the malolactic fermentation, because we put the wine in oak when it's more clean. We put the wine oak in spring. And then 2 years of Slovenian oak barrel or 25 hectoliter. After we finish the testing, we can see also the big barrel. I very like this Barolo because it's good, good drinkable, but it is also a great powerful, typical of Barolo of Monforte and Serralunga. That in this case it's a blend of vineyard in Monforte and Serralunga d'Alba.
Excuse me, Francesco. How long is it the maceration for this? How many days for this Barolo?
15 days generally. Then it depends on the vintage, but in the medium, 15 days on the skin. Always stainless steel barrel, and always oak only in spring for 2 years. For 2 years.
Okay.
Barolo Classic 2015.
And Francesco, if you will vinified the 3 wines separately, so if you're gonna make a single Serralunga, Monforte, how would you describe the main difference in the 3 wines that you would produce?
In this,
no, se facesti la separazione dei vigneti, proprio la singola fermentazione di ogni vigneto, qual è la differenza principale tra i 3?
Ah, ok. Allora, Boscareto, we have a single vineyard. I will explain after. In Le Coste di Monforte, the exposition, it's a west exposition. Great flavor of roses, violet, but more than the other wines. But the structure is not like the Barolo of Ravera di Monforte and of Serralunga. It's more simple. It's more similar to Langhe Nebbiolo. Very pleasant, great flavor, great bouquet, but not a great body. In Ravera di Monforte, we have a great smell of roses, violet, and a good, very good structure, but we don't have the balsamic note that we can taste in the Barolo Boscareto. It's typical of Boscareto, a final balsamic note. Also, when in aging, a great balsamic note, also in mild. It's very nice for this. And in Serralunga, we have powerful and elegance. In Monforte, we have structure, okay, and powerful, but less, I think, less elegance than in Boscareto, than the Barolo Boscareto. Now we can test the single vineyard.
Francesco, can you tell us a little bit about the Slovenian oak and why you use the Slovenian oak?
Ah, okay. Because I don't want to smell. I want the oak that not to smell of oak. It's difficult to explain, but I use the French oak only for the Barbera d'Alba Superiore, but I use the Tonneau because I think it's very good, the Tonneau of 5 hectoliter, to have a great Barbera, more roundness, also when the Barbera is young. But I don't like Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo for me is perfect like this. I only want a big oak to have more roundness, but not intervene in the smell of the wine. More
So the-
tradition. The
so the
traditional
barrel-
Barolo is a medium big oak from 25 hectoliter to 50 to 100.
So the barrels are not toasted at all, and you just look for the micro oxidation. See?
Yes. Not very toasted, no. Yes. And also for Barbera, medium. Barolo Boscareto, 2015. We have seen the vineyard before. Southwest exposition and very, very steep.
So this
Very
was the
active
vineyard.
oak.
This was the vineyard you were in earlier today.
Yes. In the medium, we have the older vine about 40 years old. In the medium of, in the middle of vineyard, and we use this to do the Barolo Boscareto, the red label. We can smell in the bouquet some roses, but becomes in the when it's more open. In balsamic, not typical of Serra Lunga. Also some truffle with the evolution. It's very powerful but very elegant. It has a very, very persistent final. It's I very like for this because in the mouth you can see the taste. It's very, very long, more than Barolo Classic that it's more simple, more immediately, more pleasant. But here we have powerful and elegance and a great, great final, very persistent and pleasant.
The fruit is just fabulous, and it really is creamy right off the start, and it's very, very smooth and very expression dominant for sure, aromatically and in the mouth. Very, very nice.
Thank you, and I think it's one of the best for aging because it has a great, I think, a great evolution in a bottle, more than the other Barolo.
Yeah, this was kind of unique. Like a few weeks back, we opened it in the bottle, left it probably like 6 to 8 hours before we actually got into it. It not only aromatically got more expressive, also the tension and the weight of the wine only expanded, which is not common for most wines. Typically, longer exchange with oxygen only make the wine kind of thin out in the palate, but it didn't. It just continued to get broader and broader. So that tells you like this can certainly age like 20 to 30 years without a problem. So excited to see if you could send a really old bottle for us to taste one of these days. Test out the theory.
Okay, we can go also in the Barricaia to see the.
Yeah.
Aspetta, poi mi faccio una foto. Here is a photo of the farm in front of the farm. Here we have our wine. Like I said before, tonneau of 5 hectoliter for Barbera d'Alba Superiore, and the big barrel of 25 hectoliter for the Barolo. I don't say one very important thing. 2 years for the Barolo Classic and for the Barolo Boscareto. The maceration is about 25 days on the skin. It depends sometimes also 1 month. Then always manual fermentation in stainless steel barrel. After 6 months in spring, we put the wine in oak for 2 years and a half. It depends on the vintage. Always in this deep barrel. The same for the Barolo Classic and for the Barolo Boscareto. The same. Here we have the 2019. And here we have the next vintage of Barolo Boscareto, the 2016 bottle. You have some questions?
So we don't have any
What is the total
questions currently in the
production
chat.
If you want, I have a little video, 1 minute only with some photo of the vineyard, harvest of our farm. If you want to see some photo of us, if you like, if you have time.
Fantastic.
Okay. Dolcetto vineyards. Langhe Nebbiolo. My father and my girlfriend. With truffle. Girame, il dolcetto. No, here Langhe Nebbiolo now. In Serralunga Boscareto, last vintage, in front of Ginesta. Nebbiolo grapes, Barber grapes. You can see the difference when we bottle it. With my father. It's in Italy. Conforto d'alba. Labeling. Boscareto. Winter.
That's fantastic.
The last thing I said before, we are the 4th generation. Here we are in testing room with all of the photos of the family. And we start with the 1st generation is Giuseppe, the man with the mustache. My grandfather, Francesco, here when he was a soldier. Here a photo of my grandfather, my father, and my grandmother in the farm near the vineyard. My father when he was 14. And my father, Giuseppe, now. You can see. And now, me.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much for the great tour and visit. There was a quick question. Was that video you showed, was that available for us to view on the website, or could you email that and I could put it up on our website for our customers?
Okay. The email.
Yes.
No, the website, no, it's creation only for today.
but I can put in my website.
Okay, or just email it to me and I'll put it up on our site and get the link.
Okay, perfect.
Fantastic. Francesco, thank you very much. If you could stick around, if somebody had any questions later, we could have you on board to answer any questions later. And right now, I think we're going to sneak over to Tiziana and Francesca.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited with this opportunity. And excuse me for my English, but I try to.
It's perfect.
But I'm very happy.
Molto grazie.
In video, but I hope in the future to see you in Chicago. You and your client.
All right, see you soon. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Tiziana and Francesco, welcome back.
Yeah, it was a long walk actually, but we made it on time.
Excellent. And I'm sure you're thirsty.
Yeah.
We wanted to show you a little bit the little winery. Okay.
Bene, that would be great.
So we'll drink for last. So actually, because we were trying to get to know you also, Celestino, that is somewhere in the vineyard, okay? Because right now it's taking off all the leaves for the harvest, okay? But we couldn't meet him, so actually this is Tiziana's father, Celestino. Here there is the vinification area, and actually, and unfortunately, you cannot see that beautiful corner there. From that corner, you have a view of the town of Montalcino, so it's very romantic when you taste wines outside. And actually, there will be also a gazebo in the near future, where you can taste the wines and look at the town of Montalcino. Very, very nice to see. Here, right by the vinification area, there is the aging room. So we have Slavonian and a little bit of French. And then, so Slavonian of 10 hectoliters, and also the room with 7.5 hectoliters. And then this is actually one of the vineyards here with the typical leccio from Montalcino. That means town of the lecci, of the oak. So, and then the biggest oaks that we have here are 35 hectoliters, still Slavonian. So they are used like a tank. There is, of course, a little bit of exchange of oxygen between wine and between the oak and the cellar. But actually, the traditional way to make Brunello is in big Slavonian barrels. So Tiziana told me, like, because as we told you before, a personal challenge for Tiziana to make wines. So she doesn't have a winemaker in the cellar. And because the tradition was using Slavonian big oaks, so she decided to try. And actually, you told me, and actually you tell me that the results are pretty good so far. So today we are tasting two wines. So we are tasting the Rosso di Montalcino 2017 and the Poggio al Carro 2015. Sorry. Actually, I already opened them to don't actually to don't waste so much time, and then I want them pretty open when I taste these wines, because actually in this, yes, great. Oh, that's the small sample. That's a great idea. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's like a medicine. Brunello can be a medicine too. So so I already opened the two bottles, because the thing that Luca was saying at first, and Tiziana, of course, she thanks you. We were talking about before, like, oh, Luca was very gentle to present the winery in that way, but still, I will give you 50 euros afterward, the 50 euros that you asked me to say that, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, the thing is that Tiziana, she loves structured wines. So the area is located, the clones of the Sangiovese Grosso, they express themselves as they are. So they are pretty frank, they are honest. Both, I mean, in all the line, from the Celestino IGT to the Rosso, to the regular Brunello, to the Poggio al Carro, I like to imagine like a trip that the Sangiovese does to get rounded and rounded and rounded, but still with big shoulders and high acidity. Okay. First of all, and I think it's very important to talk about a little bit of packaging here, because as we were saying before, Tiziana started for her own decision to make wine. So she actually thought also about labels, corks, foil, and everything. So this is a classic bottle for a Rosso di Montalcino. And actually it's very recognizable in the shelf if you put it in this way. Or if you can see, if you put it in horizontal, I think is the right word. Correct me if it's not. There is this CP, Celestino Pecci, that actually became an infinity sign. It's actually pretty good. And the foil is very hard. It's not just one foil, it's the foil, okay? Also the corks are all personalized, both here, and then we will see the Poggio al Carro, and the label is very particular because you see, it's like a cutted, strappata, come si dice, Luca? Aiutami tu. Strappata. Yeah. Here. And in my mind, where I first met Tiziana and I tasted the wines and she told me her story, I thought it was a cut in time where she decided to make her wine. So I like to see this in the label. And also, as I told you, there is a little storytelling behind telling you actually about the season. And the 2017 season was actually very warm, but Tiziana thinks that because the high temperature started in May, so the skin was tough enough to support the high temperature all over the year. And then at the end of the year, few rains came and actually the year was saved. Okay, so let's go in the glass.
And Francesco, just to let you know that we are tasting the 2016 vintage of the Rosso.
Oh, 16 avevano. Okay.
So if you just speak to the taste of both, that would be great.
Yeah,
Sure.
Compare the two vintages, yes.
Yeah, sure. Il 16 che annata era?
È un'annata differente?
Yes.
Più equilibrata rispetto era meno caldo.
So the 16 was less warm, like a year that was less warm, E quindi nel bicchiere sentiamo una
Allora,
differenza.
la struttura è sempre, però è meno caldo, è meno...
Meno maturo
Sì,
anche.
comunque sia l'annata è più equilibrata a livello meteorologico, nel senso le stagioni piove a primavera, caldo d'estate, invece qui è venuto un caldo forte da maggio.
Yes, so the 2016 was a little bit more regular, talking about climate, okay? So there was warm, but still few rains, like here, we are like in Montalcino. The vineyards here are like 350 on the sea level, but Montalcino is like 564. So we get some rains during the summertime too. And then actually it's time to go and look for porcini in that case. The wines are more equilibrated, okay, more elegant than 2017. But still the structure, as I was saying before, is big, and also the acidity. You actually can tell this is a Sangiovese Rosso. Lots of people, lots of sellers, they say, you know, Rosso Montalcino is a little brother of Brunello. Here you see it a lot. It's not a wine, both 2016 or 17, that blinks you the eye and say, oh, drink me, drink me, drink me. But it's like, I'm in this way. If you like me, just buy me, you know. So. So this is very important for, as we were saying, for Tiziana, because actually represents a piccolo Brunello, no? Sì. Anche per questo. Okay.
And also the 15 and 16, they've been the 5 stars in Montalcino, where 17 is 4 stars. I mean, it's not bad at all, but it's a little 4 stars compared to 5 as a vintage.
Okay.
Sì, il 2016 è 5 stelle.
Sì, sì, it's a 5 star. Is a 5 star. Yeah, and in a week we are actually, before harvest, you know, to make things easy, we are also bottling the 2016.
Brunello.
So you see, actually, you will see also in the Poggio al Carro the color of this wine, very stable, and the maceration here, you know, to fix the color is very long. Actually, Tiziana decided to keep the maceration going till 3 weeks, 1 month, sometimes, like can happen in to get this color and this structure, okay? Del 2016 è 15 gradi pure?
Sì, ma questo ha un po' superiore. Cioè, nell'etichetta ci si deve scrivere solo il fine.
Sì, sì. So the 16 is 14.5, I guess, and this is 15. So at the nose is very, there is everything. There is every kind of aroma and flavor that Sangiovese can give, I guess. You tell me. I'm not like the technical guy saying you what kind of fruit are you going to find here. But it's actually pretty fruity, and the alcohol is not covering everything. Okay, that's pretty important. So you find primary, still secondary, and tertiary aromas. And still in the mouth you have what you kind of are expecting, and this is hold it or drink it, like the Poggio al Carro. Of course, it can age for years, but it's pretty enjoyable. I won't say ready, but pretty enjoyable right now. I would like to have questions instead to explain you what you are actually tasting, if you have some.
I have a question, Francesco. Tiziana, qual è la differenza importante tra il Brunello e il Brunello Poggio al Carro? Secondo te, della stessa vendemmia 2015, qual è la differenza che ci sono tra i due? I'm asking the difference between the Brunello and the Brunello Poggio
Yeah.
Carro
Sì,
at the
sì.
at the same vintage 2015, which Glunz has both. So
Allora, io quando faccio la scelta del vino, la prima cosa che scelgo è proprio la struttura, la forza del vino e che sia lungo in bocca, nel senso, ecco, non che l'annata non lo sia, però cioè, deve essere nella mia scelta c'è la struttura, la forza del vino e anche l'eleganza. Poi il vino che è di Poggio al Carro diventerà anche riserva del Brunello, perché non imbottiglio, cioè tutta l'uva che è siccome la quantità è limitata, perché siamo su 50 quintali, quindi la selezione su quella vigna è più... Comunque io ti dico che tutte le vigne hanno una selezione in un certo modo, ma il terreno è differente.
Aspetta che faccio la traduzione. So Tiziana is saying that the main difference between the Poggio Carro and the Brunello is the structure. So obviously Poggio Carro is more structured. Is also the length of it is much longer, and that's what she looks in the main difference between Poggio Carro and the Brunello. And also, do not forget, from the Poggio Carro, she produced the Reserva. So from the vineyard Poggio Carro, some years, not every year, but the best years, she produced a small portions of Riserva Brunello from the single vineyard Poggio Carro. Tiziana?
Sì, la mia scelta per capire il rito iniziale è molto istintiva, ti dico la verità, è molto istintiva. Però e non sono ogni anno lo stesso numero di bottiglie. No, tieni. Lo stesso numero di bottiglie non è ogni anno, perché non è detto che siccome la vinificazione è separata, però dipende anche dai recipienti, perché Poggio al Carro la botte è rigorosamente da 35 ettolitri, però non è detto che io possa avere la quantità per fare 2 botti. Ecco, per esempio il 2016 va in bottiglia e era solo una botte, ma da 25 addirittura, perché non è detto che sia contenta. Cioè la mia scelta però ti dico che è veramente molto, molto istintiva, basata, è vero, sulla struttura, cioè deve avere qualcosa in più anche a livello di eleganza, però non ti so, il terreno di quella vigna è comunque differente, perché l'argilla il versante davanti a Montalcino prevale un po' di più, e lì c'è anche un po' di terreno differente. Si vede proprio anche se cammini sul vigneto. Ecco.
Certo, dammi un secondo. So, Tiziana, she's saying for the Poggio Carro, every year she decides how many bottles to produce, because even from the same vineyard, the selection that they do, they make a larger or smaller quantity of that selection. It can go between 25 hectoliters, like for 2016, up to 35 hectoliters for 2015. And she said that on the hills of Poggio Carro, the vineyards facing the north, they have a much more clay than the slope that face the south. And that's why Poggio Carro has more structures normally, and normally kind of, structure elegant. I mean, I know this elegant structure doesn't match sometimes, but in this case for Poggio Carro, she looks for both together.
So cheers with Poggio al Carro that I already poured. I don't know if you guys, because we switched already from Rosso to Poggio al Carro. So.
Any other question, Joe?
Yeah,
Felicia?
exactly. At this point, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask us.
And please go ahead and feel free to unmute, or you can put that into the chat area, and we can go ahead and bring those out. So any questions, please go ahead and unmute. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the gallery view.
And well, I forgot to say, and I think Tiziana will have to say, I mean, we're very, very glad that the Barolo di Brunello from Tiziana. She got 97 points with James Suckling, and we are waiting for the Poggio Carro. I'm sure it's gonna be there, or maybe here in Iowa. You know, I think that one is, you know, it's very, very nice. I mean, I like it, so I guess it will be.
We'll see. Finger crossed. It's yeah.
Fantastic.
She was
Well,
very, very excited when she knew about this award. So it means a lot here. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
So Tiziana and Francesco, thank you very much for joining us today and taking us through the winery and presenting your wines from your tasting rooms. It could not have been better. The wines are absolutely outstanding, and we are very privileged to have the opportunity to meet with you as well as to represent your wines here in Illinois. So thank you. Molte grazie.
Grazie a
Grazie
voi.
mille. Grazie a voi. Grazie a tutti.
Thank you.
And we'll be sending a link to this video out.